magic eraser. Let me show you. So this is an actual cut-up magic eraser that is very dirty and nasty because it was in the bottom of my drawer. However, ignore the hair on it and look at the texture of it versus this. Let me zoom into this. It's gonna be hard to tell. If you feel them, like these when they get wet, just kind of disintegrate. And if you start, I'm just using, this is the, see this? This is just, I'm literally just rubbing a flat surface here. They're also a little bit more abrasive and they kind of stay compressed a little bit more. If you guys have ever used magic erasers like on a wall and stuff, you'll know they just kind of get destroyed really fast. These don't really seem to do that. These guys, they're a little bit more dense. Let me put some alcohol on this one and I'll show you. I can rub this thing on the flat surface there quite a bit. And it doesn't just disintegrate like that other one. Over time, like if you rub, if you do it on like O201 caps, like of course it's gonna tear it up because it's gonna like, you know, it's gonna catch on them and stuff. But they are a little bit more, these little nano cleaning sponges, I find at least, are more robust. They also don't like stay compressed like the Mr. Clean sponges. I don't think these are melamine, but I totally could be wrong, but it just feels very different. I think it's just high density foam. But yeah, anyways, thank you for coming to my nano cleaning sponge talk. Okay, next thing. Oh, guess what this is? Anyone want to take a guess? It's these nano cleaning sponges I really like. Okay, anyways, I bought 2 of those. I forgot I bought 2 of those. Moving on. What if I just keep pulling more of these out? All right, I got this next package. What do you guys think this is? It's these nano cleaning sponges I really like. I honestly don't. I didn't remember that I bought 3. Did I buy more? I don't think I tried to buy 3 of these. Maybe they sent me too many. I didn't buy 5, I swear. Guys. This is not a bit. I promise this is not a bit. I don't know how so many of these showed up. I have to go look at my order because I don't think. Okay, what do you guys think this is? What is happening? It's the never-ending bag of nano cleaning sponges. Well, I'll never have to buy these again. Okay, there are no more. There are no more. I promise. Oh my God. Well, we have plenty of those. This thing I'm really excited for. So this is a stencil holder. So this is where I keep all my stencils. You can see it's very organized in here. So I think these just kind of, oh, I thought they were gonna go like this. Okay, so this, I'm hyped about this. This is a 0.3 millimeter grinding pen tip, and look how precise that thing is. That is sick. I like that a lot. I see why people like these. People have been telling me to get these and try these for a bit, and I finally did. Let me compare this to the other grinding pen tip I use. So arguably similar in terms of the precision. However, it's a little ball on the end, and that's gonna be a lot nicer to use, I think, than this, because with this, I kind of have to angle it quite a bit, but with this, it's a little ball, so I'm not gonna have to deal with that as much. This PCB is totally shot, so it's delammed. Don't worry, I'm not breaking a nice board. I just wanna kind of see how this works, and so far, I am really liking this tip. I'm gonna have to get used to this thing for kamikazes, because I'm already in the second layer up top there. So there's the second layer. And then we're gonna get to that's third layer substrate. Oh, this thing is so sick, actually. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it feels like it gets in the way less versus this one. Cause see how, like, if I try to go from the side like this, I'm just gonna grind all of this stuff over here. It's the best way I can explain it. It cuts into the board a bit more with less pressure than this one does. So I'm gonna have to practice with this little tip to make sure, you know, I know what I'm doing with it. With this, I'm really comfortable with this one because I'm just used to exactly how much it cuts through. I will definitely be messing around with this guy a bit more. Okay, guess what? We have more tweezers. Two more tweezers. We'll open them at the same time. These are the same type, sort of, I guess. I think they're specifically designed for holding like super thin wire, but obviously, you know, you can use them for whatever. These are another set of tool tweezers, and okay, I can see why these would be good for holding wire. So those are like pretty sharp. They're definitely not like as sharp as the titanium tweezers, for example. But I like how they have this little like knurled grip on the insides. That's gonna be nice for wire for sure. So let me just grab like a 0.1 millimeter wire here. Let's say I was soldering a wire to one of these little pads here. Here are these tweezers, and then I let go a little bit and press it against the PCB so it touches the PCB. And then you can kind of like re-grip it closer. This works really great, actually. Really impressed with these. Let's try the other ones. These are mechanic ones. Mechanic KA11s, and those are on the right. They're actually pretty much the exact same thing. They seem similar. The difference between these are how wide they are initially. The mechanic ones are a little bit wider. Okay, I'm grabbing as hard as I can, and it's not coming off. They seem to function similarly, this one versus the other one I just tried, but they just have a little bit of a different hand feel to them. These are a little thinner, the mechanic ones. They both seem decent quality. Tool is cool. Did it have that on the packaging of this one too? Let's see.
Inquisitor.
It does. Tool is cool. That must be their slogan. That's so funny. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Next. Look how much, it's so nice to have a sharp and clean X-Acto. Ooh, I've been wanting this for so long. I'm super hyped for this. So this is exactly the same thing as this, but it's smaller, and it's specifically for EMMCs, and it's a little bit of a smaller magnet, so I think it's just like one of these magnets, yeah, in the middle. I mostly bought this for all of this stuff, and I love these batches. These are non-magnetic spreaders that come with it, so they don't get like, you know, like they don't do this. You also want titanium tweezers too, working with this if you ever need to use tweezers, because these won't stick, whereas these are gonna stick. So yeah, these are the little attachments. I probably won't be using most of these, but it'll be nice to have them. This is the one I'll be using. Yeah, BJ153, that's what the switch uses. We also have some like little, oh, I see. I think these are spacers for going here underneath the chips. So these are gonna be two different thicknesses, and it's just to help raise the chip, I believe. Oh, these are to space the, that's cool. These are kind of the opposite. It's to space the stencil from the chip. So you can kind of raise it up and down. This one's 0.15 and 0.1 again. I like the little thing this comes with. That's what this is like. We might come back to that. I've needed one of these for a little while. This is an LCR meter, and this is going to allow us to test like conductors and all that fun stuff. Since we have so much stuff to go through today, I'm not really going to go super in depth with this. So we can measure the cap or something quick. It's 470 microfarad, and it's showing, yeah, close, 450. Cool. Okay, we measured a capacitor. Success. Anyways, what's this? Oh yeah. Oh, I got two, and I almost threw this out. I'm glad I didn't, because I need these. These are 4.7 kilo ohm O201 resistors, and I use these literally every day because people are constantly burning the command resistor on their switches. So these are my ceramic tweezers. I love these ceramic tweezers. I dropped these like 5 times. So these are replacements for those. Look how sharp the new ones are. There's the difference, and you can see even that one cracked, the one that's longer. But it's really nice to have these. These are super precise. Okay, finally, this is like one of the most ridiculous purchases I've made in my entire life. However, I actually think I'll use this thing. So, you guys know how much I love this, right? This little tool. This blows air fast. It's like rechargeable, compressed air kind of thing. It works awesome. Some people like having a compressor on their bench. This works great for me. I just use it to cool boards down or dry things off if I want to dry alcohol from underneath chips or blow liquefied flux out from underneath chips. But this, so that is great and all, but this is a little precision wand, something I want to just have on my desk, kind of like this. I don't know, this is obviously a very ridiculous tool, but I like stuff like this. It comes with a little bag that I probably won't use, but that's Interesting. Oh, it comes with, oh, this is sick. It comes with like a nozzle, like for flat air. That's actually, that is sick. That is going to suit the needs I just explained very well, I think. So yeah, just one button. Let's see if it has charge. Oh, you hold it. Oh, it's perfect. That's so sick. I love this. This is dope. Sorry, that's probably really loud and obnoxious. Oh, I see. You probably have to take the plastic out from here. Yo, that actually does make a difference between these two. At least how it feels on my hand. I think it would make a difference for how it looks on the board. Let's say we reballed this chip and put it on the board, and there's a bunch of flux under it. If I wanted to get it out from underneath the chip, liquefy the flux a bit. But notice how flux is kind of coming out from underneath the other side of the chip. Let's try using this thing now. See what this does. Try to angle this well. I don't know if from up here is gonna make sense, but look at that. That all comes out. Hold up. That's look at this. Hold up. It just splattered all the flux onto the table. Well, that was it for the tools, I think. Do you think I got enough tools? I don't think I did. I think I need more. And reball now. I did want to try that thing out. It's right here. Here is a great example where sponges are good. Because they pick up just so much flux at once. To be determined if we need to use spacers. I haven't ever used this. So. I might add a little spacer here actually. See, like that side looks good. It just looks like it's a little angled. So we'll use the thinnest one. Put that in there. This feels better. See how it clears the little jig thing here? All right, let's give this thing a shot. This is probably funny. Paste here, and I forget I don't have to hold things in place because it's a magnet. So we'll get some of this in there. I love this mayo spreader. It just makes me happy every time I use it. It's just like such a perfect, I don't have to like ever worry about putting too much or too little pressure on it. It's just like such a perfect springiness to it. It's not magnetic. It's great. All right, let's try to just clean top gently there. Dude, I am just so happy to have this freaking magnetic stencil. You guys have no idea how many nans I've hand reballed or used like a shitty taped off universal stencil. Oh, this is gonna save me so much time when I gotta do these. It's stupid too, because even if I didn't buy the magnetic thing, you can buy these stencils for like nothing. Probably should separate this from the stencil while I still can. There we go. Look how nicely that reballed this thing. Very good. Cool. Well, I'll clean this up, throw it in the bag as a little spare. Cool tool. I like that a lot. I love the spacers it comes with. That's a really cool addition. This is definitely a win. So yeah, that's all the tools I got today. I think the winners today are gonna be this polarized ring light for sure. I think actually what I'm gonna do is take this little C ring out and remove the plastic or glass here and just put a piece of polarized film directly on the Barlow lens itself of my microscope. And that way I think the quality will be improved because it won't have this extra piece of, you know, useless glass in between. I also did lubricate this and it sounds significantly less horrible, so definitely recommend throwing a little bit of lubricant in that if you pick that up. The other winner, I think, is going to be this Ameo EMC magnetic reballing stencil. And this little blower here gets an honorable mention because I just like stupid things like this, and I'm excited to see if I end up using it. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
The path to justice. water. missteps of ambition and despair, egotism and doubt. Should you choose this road, beware those who would waylay your hopes and disembowel your dreams. Remain sure to remain true. The path to justice is slender and perfidious, fraught with missteps of ambition and despair, egotism and doubt. Should you choose this road, beware those who would waylay your
When
hopes
I'm ready
and
and
disembowel.
not before. sleepy. And then karma, bro.
trouble. I like that. Now what I don't like, Oaken and Lyra and their thieving man. No pain, no gain.
Now you might think these are ordinary walkie-talkies, but they are not, because if we look inside them, we can find a SIM card, since these things need a data connection to make communication happen, which is something I've never heard of before. But that is the beauty of AliExpress, because there you can always find the weirdest, newest, and sometimes super useful products. And in case you're completely confused right now, let me tell you that AliExpress is a Chinese online store where I, for example, got these walkie-talkies from. But since you never exactly know whether the products from there are truly useful and thus a hidden gem or simply garbage, I created this video series. And today I will be once again having a closer look at 7 completely different products in order to ultimately tell you whether you should check them out or stay away from them. Let's get started.
Are you tired of flexible heaters that never quite fit? Well, there is a solution from my sponsor JLC PCB. They now offer custom flexible heaters exactly to your specs, including power rating, irregular shapes, cutouts, inner holes, and even your target temperature. You can choose between polyamide or silicon rubber material, which always gets a strict appearance inspection as well as resistance testing before shipping, which, by the way, happens as fast as 72 hours after ordering. And if you're unsure about the design process, then they even offer a free circuit design, meaning there is nothing stopping you from making your own awesome heater PCB. So if you're ready to try it, then follow my link in the video description and get 3 polyamide heaters for $1 or 3 silicon heaters for $3. Let's start with the walkie-talkies that you can get for around €24 a piece. On the packaging side we can read POC, which stands for Push to Talk over Cellular, and that basically explains that you can only use this with the cellular network. But why do that when everyone has a perfectly fine smartphone nowadays? Well, let me show you after unpacking my 2 walkie-talkies. The first thing that stands out is the housing, because it seems very durable, meaning this thing can take a beating without a problem. The internal battery is also quite big, and considering how much power this thing needs while in use, it can last for days. And lastly, to establish communication, you only have to push one button, which, all things considered, makes such POC walkie-talkies suitable for many different job sites, I would say. To test them, I firstly charged them up while having a look at a mandatory bonus product, which are these 2 SIM cards that offer 2 GB of data for 30 days for around €18. According to the product description, they should work in Germany, and I always wondered whether such easy to get SIM cards really do work. So let's find out by putting both cards into my walkie-talkies. And after turning them on, we pretty much immediately got a data connection. Awesome! And you can even charge up these SIM cards again online. But I wouldn't call these prices cheap. But anyway, next I started the Zello app on the walkie-talkies that manages the connections. And I had to register there, which was a nightmare with the display quality and the input buttons. Eventually though, after around 15 minutes, both devices were online. And at this point, it was very easy to use.
The latency is pretty good, as well as the audio quality.
And as a bonus, you can also connect Bluetooth headsets and use GPS, meaning all in all I would recommend both products if you're in need for something like this. Next I got these 3 USB PD boards here that you can get for around €1 each. Most interesting are these 2 here that come with a barrel jack input, since I got a lot of useless random power supplies laying around that come with these connectors. So by simply plugging a 24-volt supply into one of these boards, we basically turned this useless power supply into a USB-C PD power source that, according to my tests, can provide all power delivery voltages as well as an adjustable voltage between 3.3 volts and 21 volts. Fantastic! That is pretty sweet, and not only useful for your DIY projects, but tons of other electronic devices as well, since USB-C PD is super versatile nowadays. This is all possible due to this XPM52C IC here, that according to its datasheet is a buck converter that implements some popular USB standards. But of course, since it is essentially a buck converter, it can only step down a voltage, meaning if you supply 12 volt in, you can only get under 12 volt out. Next I of course tested all promised electrical features, like the ripple voltage, which seemed fine, the output current was limited to just below 4 amps, also good, the measured efficiencies were also all in spec, and the IC didn't get super hot while doing all of that, meaning in conclusion I would highly recommend these boards. Moving on to this smart ring here, that you can get for around €18. Not that expensive. I got interested in it because I'm pretty much always wearing a smartwatch that monitors my steps, heart rate, as well as my workout sessions. And I really love having this data. So I was simply curious whether a ring could do this task as well, since on the product page it claims to be able to exactly do these jobs, along with some nice bonuses. And after unpacking everything, I gotta say that the quality of the ring was better than I expected. It doesn't look half bad and seems pretty rigid. but before putting it on permanently, I firstly charge it up using the included station, which actually comes with an internal battery. So while that was charging, I downloaded the app for this thing, and of course had to register. On the bright side though, pairing with the ring worked pretty smooth, and the user interface is pretty intuitive to use. And the first thing I tried out was the bonus feature, aka gesture interactions, meaning by double tapping my ring, I can either take a picture or scroll through videos, which worked pretty well most of the time. Next I measured my heart rate, and in comparison to my expensive smartwatch, it seems to be around the same value. Nice! So for the next 2 days, I simply kept the ring on, and I gotta say it was pretty comfortable to wear, even while doing workouts. And needless to say, it is waterproof and especially useful
My
when it
toes
comes
are
to
tripping.
sleep
Let me
tracking.
go to sleep. I'll go to sleep. Just 1 hour stream. I'm not feeling good.